Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Mayor Gentry,
Present.
Becky McClure,
Present.
Bill Stoner,
Present.
Dick Robertson,
Present.
Alan Milburn.
He's excused. Okay, next we'll move on. Actually, we will not move on to the approval of minutes because we don't have those yet, so we'll do those at our next meeting. So move right into department head reports. First up will be Police Department. Chief Morgan.
Good evening, board members. Since our last meeting, the Lebanon Police Department has responded to 1,025 calls for service and arrested a total of 27 people for the following crimes. 5 for operating while intoxicated, 8 were wanted on a warrant, 2 for possession of meth, 3 for domestic battery, 2 for driving while suspended, 3 for resisting law enforcement, 1 for receiving stolen auto parts, 1 for invasion of privacy, 1 for carrying a handgun without a license, and 1 for child molest. In that same time frame, 22 handgun carry licenses were sent off to the state for final approval. Major Hood will be attending a PATC grant writing course. This will be a 2-day course that will not only instruct on grant writing, but also teach how to manage the money in accordance with regulations and laws. This is often the toughest part of the grant process, is maintaining and following all the procedures. Officer Custis has taken over our Explorer program. He has been going to the schools and talking with some of the students, trying to explain to them what the Explorer program is and how it can help them. So we are hoping to get more students to sign up, since we've lost a few of them who have aged out. They've reached that max age, so they can't be Explorers anymore. A lot of our Explorers that we've already put through have ended up getting into the law enforcement field in one shape or fashion, either dispatchers, police officers, or jailers. That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for the board? Any questions for the public? Okay, thank you, sir. Next up will be Fire Department. We've got Deputy Chief Baird.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Works. Since the last Board of Work meeting, we've had 238 calls for service. We've logged 409 training hours and completed 29 commercial fire inspections. Our 2 probationary firefighters have their family night this Wednesday at the Boone County Trading Tower. They will graduate this coming Friday evening in Avon, and then they will both report to one reports on the 17th and one on the 18th. And that's all I have. Pretty short and sweet.
Any questions for the Fire Department from the board? Any questions from the public? Okay, thanks, sir. Next is Parks and Recreation. John Messenger.
Good evening. After several great first and second interviews for our Office and Recreation Coordinator, we welcome Thomas Ingalls, a hometown young man, to our Parks family. Thomas is a 2021 graduate of the University of Southern Indiana. He majored in marketing. We look forward to Thomas' knowledge in social media and marketing and advertising to grow our park systems. He will also be assisting with our program planning. We have also hired Anthony Wester to join our maintenance department. Anthony is a 2010 graduate of Lebanon High School. He is married and has 2 children and is also a youth wrestling coach. So we're real excited about them joining our family. Seashore Water Park is now hiring for lifeguards and concession stand workers. Anyone 15 years of age may apply. Our starting wage is $10 per hour. Open interviews will take place on Saturday, January 29th and Saturday, February 12th from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the park office. For further information about those positions and open interviews, please contact the parks office or visit our website. Over the holidays, we had recertifications for our lifeguards held at Lebanon High School pool. Lori Frost organized this with Lisa Brown from Zionsville instructing the class. We will hold one more certification class for all our new hires and anyone who missed the recertification class. I think we have 17 positions open, so if you know someone, please get them out there, and we want to talk to them. We did raise our wage, so $10 an hour is a nice competitive wage, I believe. We had a kickoff meeting with stakeholders for our 5-year master plan. We will be holding public meetings soon. We do have a survey on our website, Facebook page, Instagram, so please help us by taking this survey. We value your input. We are working with Deb Schmucker from Cornerstone on that project. Hannah Waggle and Klein will be working with us on a Seashore Water Park master plan and expansion. The park board, Lori Gross, and the park board signed that contract just last week, so we'll get started with it soon. Sedco, another local guy that is contracted to do the work in Memorial Park's site lighting. He's already done a lot of site work. Green stakes have been placed where approximate lighting will be in Memorial Park around the trail and the parking areas. Subsurface has started the site work in Memorial Park for installation of our all-inclusive playground. They've already done site work, and they put up the, boy, I just slipped my mind, the black fencing around, and then they'll turn around and start digging on Thursday. I think the snow fence will go up tomorrow, the silt fence, there you go. Silt fence went up 2 days ago. There again, Trees R Us will be cleaning invasive species and dead and dying trees, along with smaller trees at Abner Longley very soon. Now that the ground is starting to freeze, we have to have that frozen ground. There's some wetlands that we got to be careful about, so have to have that ground frozen. Really looking forward to that improvement. We have removed some Christmas decorations downtown. We'll finish removing those on Thursday morning. We'll get out about 5:30, so we won't interrupt any of the businesses or any of the courthouse employees. With the high winds, we have had over 30 trees land on the Big Four Trail. We've had to remove an old swing set and a drinking fountain in preparation for the site work on the new playground also. We've taken our over-administration control over the dog park, which will allow better customer service and faster membership activation. We've had some trouble since we've got going. We have over 200 go ahead,
Members?
help me.
Members?
Yeah, there you go, members, there you are. Needless to say, it wasn't getting activated soon enough, so we took the administration roles over that so we can get it out a lot quicker to them. There was some frustration there that nobody needs, and we have the talent in our office to take care of that. Appreciate Taylor taking on that project. You know, we had some awesome submissions for our blanket fort building contest. Didn't see any of your all's blankets that you guys built, but there were a couple nice ones if you want to get on our Facebook page and look. I think that was a nice little contest. And we're holding off for a snowman building contest, and if we have to put that off till next year, that'll be just fine with me, and I think Dave too, if I'm not mistaken. Our calendar is now open for 2022 pool parties. Please give the office a call if you want to book a party. Spots are filling up fast. That opens up in January, and we already have, I think, 11 as of today that have already booked for 2022, and that's my report.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John from the board? Any questions from the public? Okay, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Next is Engineering Department, Kim Krulik.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Engineering report for this evening. Happy to report that as of earlier today, we sent out our last payment on our 2021 resurfacing program. So that is now complete. We'll be working on those closeout documents for the community crossing grant applications over the next 2 weeks or so and get that closed out, and then move right into the 2022 program. 2022 program is now under contract. We executed contracts at the end of last year, and we'll be setting up meetings with the contractor, which is the Harding Group, in the coming future to figure out what that schedule will look like. There's no hurry, of course. Nothing's going to happen until the spring breaks, but we will be under contract, and we will be doing that a little earlier this year than we did last year. All the paving work has got to be completed by August 1st. So try to complete that through the summer months, hopefully before kids go back to school. Road impact fee ordinance. Final ordinance was adopted on the 14th of December, so effectively, or 13th of December, excuse me. Effectively, our ordinance will go into place on June 14th of 2022. That's when we'll first be able to charge fees associated with road impacts. Jumping over to other projects, Whit Road. The bridge on Whit Road, as many remember, was delayed to start until June 1 of this year. Be completed by August 1st. We're just getting ready to get back in front of our contractors to verify all those schedules and get things in place so that we are ready to hit the ground running when summer gets here. On the road project, remind everyone that we submitted the Whit Road reconstruction from Lafayette Avenue, including a roundabout at Lafayette Avenue, to north of Austin Drive under the Notice of Federal Funding Availability that came out last year. This is for fiscal year 2027. We have an interview actually set for tomorrow on that project, and we will hopefully hear in the next month or so about where those awards will shake out. We are still continuing with right-of-way acquisition for sidewalk replacements along Whit Road, particularly south of Victoria Drive, to make sure that we get our pedestrian connectivity and safety in place, regardless of whether the road project goes forward. Let's see, other projects, the Elmwood Bridge. We now have a memorandum of understanding for adverse effects to the historic bridge. That was finalized between us and the Corps of Engineers and the Indiana Division of Historic Preservation. And only thing that they're really requiring is photo documentation prior to the demolition of the old bridge. We had our final utility coordination meeting last week, and moving forward with that, we may be seeking community crossing grant funding in this first cycle that is currently open and closes on the 28th of January. Still having some discussions right now whether or not we can be ready for that. From a design standpoint, we're going to be fine for bidding and under construction this summer, but we may decide to delay that until 2023 construction. Really, what we're also working with now is working with the county on a memorandum of understanding associated with the future maintenance of that bridge. So once we build the bridge, we want the county to take it over into their maintenance program. And that is critical for community crossings because we're not eligible to submit for community crossings unless we have that memorandum of understanding in place, because we do not have bridge assets at this time. So we're moving forward with those conversations with the county. If we can get that resolved here quickly, we will go ahead and submit for the first round of community crossing funds. If not, we'll be ready for the fall. Grant Street project, we've now set our new letting date of May 5th. Right-of-way offers are being hand-delivered, and we're trying to close all of our right-of-way acquisitions by the 28th of February. There's a lot going on there, but if there's anybody listening that is in that corridor and has questions about right-of-way offers that have been made, I'd really just encourage you to contact myself or the mayor's office so we can continue those conversations. We want to wrap that up as quickly as we can. Keep in mind the project will be built in two phases. The first phase will be William Street from the bridge just west of Ann Street. So from that bridge to Grant Street, and that will be done this summer while the kids are out of school. And then we will button that project up and wait through the winter, and then in the summer of 2023, we will do the reconstruction of Grant Street from Washington to Fordyce. We have now selected VS Engineering as a construction inspector. We're just working through contract negotiations with them right now to be ready to break ground on that project, as I said, this summer. Grant Street Phase 2, another project from Washington Street south to Indianapolis Avenue, was also submitted under that 2027 fiscal call for federal funding. We're also interviewing for that tomorrow, and we'll let you know how that goes. Keep in mind that would not be until a 2027 project. Fordyce Street, right-of-way acquisition is also progressing on that project. Tentatively remind everyone we're looking at 2024 or 2025 construction. Big Four Trail expansion. Notice of award has been issued to Calumet Civil Contractors. All deed restrictions are scheduled to be executed this week, and construction is set to begin in the spring. We have also had 4 proposals for an RFP for inspection services, and the committee has made the selection. Happy to announce that we've selected Clark Dietz to go forward with contract negotiations for construction inspection services. Jumping over to the bike park, we have now passed the date for appeal from the county. Happy to report that they did not appeal and that they have issued new BZA findings that have removed the special exception requirements, and that will free the way for us to move forward on the project. We are beginning to finalize our plans, finalize all of our approvals through IDEM, and move that project forward, hopefully for a spring bidding and construction. On the Lebanon Fieldhouse project, just let everyone know that we are working with the developer and their engineers, as well as the engineers of Lebanon Utilities and others, as well as INDOT, making sure that we're getting that project designed correctly and ready to go to construction in the spring. And also same thing on the Waterford project, working with the team there to make sure that we're underway for an expected start of spring 2022. That's all I have.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin from the board? Anything from the public? Okay, thank you, sir. Next up is Planning Department, then Bontrager.
Good evening, board members. Planning Department report for this evening. Over the last month, since the last time the board met, we did complete just under 100 building inspections, so still continuing to see some strong activity on the construction side. And then did issue 34 new permits, with 3 of those being new residential permits. So again, while we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown due to them being winter now, there is still some really good activity on the construction side as well. In terms of year-end totals for 2021, I usually try to provide those numbers the first meeting of the new year. So in a new single family, we did have 67 permits in 2021, and that's roughly equal to what we had in 2020 when we had 64. I think really we were limited by the number of lots available and whether builders could actually get materials to build homes this year. Otherwise, I think that number would have been higher, because I think demand is still not being met at this point in time. New single-family construction, we did have Autumn Trace, the 52-unit assisted living facility that's under construction now, and 451 Flats, the apartment building that's on North Lebanon Street with 39 units. So we do have 2 multifamily projects under construction. On the commercial industrial side, we had a total of about 256,000 square feet that was permitted this last year. In 2020, we did have a little over 600,000 square feet, but I think most of that, probably about 98% of that, was one construction project out in the business park. So again, strong activities there. In terms of fees collected, the Planning Department collected a little over $220,000 in fees related to building permits and applications to Board of Zoning Appeals, Plan Commission, et cetera. So again, very strong activity in 2021. We don't see any slowdown this year. In fact, we see it continuing to increase. On continuing education side, Matt Reynolds and I will be attending later this week an Urban Land Institute event in downtown Indianapolis. It's their 2022 Emerging Trends in Real Estate Conference, and they'll have a collection of, I think, about a half a dozen individuals, both from public and private sector, to talk about projects they're working on in the real estate industry. So looking forward to see what we'll learn about some of our neighbors are working on, and also those in the private sector. So that'll be a good event for us to attend. On the code enforcement side, again, a lot of strong activity over the last month or so. And then I do have some year-end totals from code enforcement as well. They did handle just under 500 different complaints, unique complaints. And they break down the top complaint that we received last year was junk vehicles, about almost 120 complaints. And then you move on to junk and trash and weeds and grass, all of them. We saw over 100 complaints in each of those categories, and then they range down from there. But those are definitely what we see typically trending. And I know if you want more information, Matt has been able to map those, and you can actually see where in the city we're seeing the most of certain types of complaints and things like that. So we can, as we go forward and we're being more proactive, we're looking at other programs, we might be able to address those things. We can see where we can be most effective with our time. So in terms of those 500 complaints, there were almost 2,200 individual activities related to those complaints. So a lot of things taking place there. And certainly you can see that our heaviest activities happening during the summertime, which I'm sure you can all imagine is the case in June and July. And finally, in terms of abatement rates, of those 500 cases, only 20 remain open. So you can see that we're only about 4% of those cases remain open. So we are getting things taken care of in a timely fashion. And I would say of the 20 remaining cases, several of those are ones that we just opened at the end of last year, so we haven't even had a chance to address them. But, so we are seeing that we're receiving a number of complaints, but we're getting them taken care of in a timely fashion, so that's good news for all of us to hear. And that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben from the board? Anything from the public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next is Street and Stormwater Department, Dave Newell.
How's everybody doing tonight? Good. Oh. I thought I'd give you some numbers from leaf season. We finally wrapped that up at the end of December. Seemed like they fell late this year, but the weather let us go as long as we could, so we took advantage of it. Total for the 21 season so far, or what we came up with, total mileage we traveled was 3,854 miles. Never left town, believe it or not. We did go out to Lambs, I guess that's out of town, but the total fuel usage for trucks alone was 821 gallons. For the leaf machines, it was 1,048 gallons. So, and then the total maintenance cost to run the season was $5,240.49. So that's went down for us. So that's the new machines paying off, I guess. That's a good sign. The total weight taken to Lambs for 2021 was 1,023,732,916.2 pounds, or 607,380 yards, however you want to look at it. So, quite a bit. I couldn't find last year's in time, but I was going to try to see what the difference was. Just never know. Sunday, January 2nd, we were out salting. Used 35 tons of road salt for this event. It's been about 4 hours. We dodged a bullet Saturday. We were out. I was out till about 9:30, 10 o'clock driving the roads, and the later it got, the better the roads were getting, and they never did really get slick, so it was just raining. So we dodged a bullet there. Passed a few state trucks. I heard they had some problems on the interstates and stuff, so they were out, but we just never had to go out. So, and it got even better Sunday, so that was good for us. Now we're still picking up Christmas trees. Still have a few stragglers out there, and they'll run. Sometimes we picked them up in April, believe it or not, but there ain't much left on them. But yeah, that's running our roads and trying to get our plans together for next year, keeping the potholes filled that we have to in the winter, and keep an eye on our drains, trying to keep them cleaned off, and just a lot of time this we take to write down potholes, see things we can plan for in the spring, and that we have an attack plan for it. But that's what we got done so far this year.
Okay. Any questions for Dave from the board? Anything from the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, and last but not least, Communications, Community Development, Joe LePage.
Good evening, everyone. Hot off the presses, just released today and put up on our YouTube channel, and the guys in the back are going to help me out and put it on our public access channel. We recap the Ocean Escape mural. It's now complete just off of Lafayette Avenue. Be added to social media here coming up soon. We'll be putting a press release with it, and for the reasons I'll share in just a second. At the end of the video on the public access channel, folks watching now, you'll see an invitation to our community creative call out. And let me show you the handout that was created by our new community development intern, Lebanon High School senior Riley Jump. She put that together on the monitor on the side of me here. Zoom out. Sadly, our overhead here is barely readable, but anyway, this will be on social media as well. This is a call out for the community creative call out that's coming up on February 10th and also March 10th from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. That call out will be held at the Craft Room downtown, the former location of where Merle Norman was formerly located, right there on Meridian Street. We're looking for, as you can see on the barely readable handout, 3D printers, artists, performers, poets, culinary artists, woodworkers, inventors as well, pretty much anybody who you would say is pretty creative. The purpose of this call out is to not only meet our creatives here in the Lebanon area, but also to get their opinion on the creation of a cultural trail, cultural district within our community, and how to better recognize the arts within our community. You may be saying to yourself, why is that important? Well, the creation of the cultural district or the cultural trail has a threefold positive to it. It enhances quality of life. So if you're kind of picturing someone doing some woodworking in their garage, this sheds light on some great things going on within our community, enhancing the quality of life of residents throughout our community. Also, it works as researchers have found as a business and also tourism and talent attraction. And so creatives want to be where other creatives are. And so if we're able to call those folks out, give them some free appetizers, bring them to a cool place like the craft room, it leads to more growth there. Also community enhancement as well. A couple of creatives maybe having some synergy there, some collaboration could lead to positive things within our community, volunteer-based or new businesses possibly as well. All this is funded through a grant, a $5,000 grant that we applied for and were awarded from the Indiana Arts Commission. So that's coming up again on February 10th, March 10th, downtown on Meridian Street at the Craft Room, 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. This goes along with more of our visual marketing that we're going to be rolling out throughout the year 2022. Our Hey Neighbor campaign is now being rolled out in Travel Indiana Magazine, the first quarter of the magazine. Also, it will be featured throughout the year through Indianapolis Monthly, digitally throughout the year from Indy Monthly. The Hey Neighbor campaign targets nearby communities, sharing some and educating them as to Lebanon's proximity. You may remember, and folks will see the big logo here on my shirt and in this building, in this room as well. Marketing campaign that we rolled out several years ago. One of the marketing firms went down to the Circle in Indianapolis and asked folks, passersby, MOSs, if you're in the media industry, men on the street, asked them, could you find Lebanon on a map? Half the people couldn't pronounce it correctly. And the other half couldn't find it. And so we're helping to educate our neighbors and sharing with them how close in proximity Lebanon is to not only Hamilton County, but also our neighbors throughout the other donut counties as well. You'll see later on this year increased traffic as the Hey Neighbor campaign continues to grow into social media and also a larger physical media presence in a highly trafficked areas throughout the donut counties as well. And so look forward to seeing that throughout the year 2022 as part of that Hey Neighbor campaign.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Any questions for Joe from the board? Anything from the public? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, that concludes department head reports. We'll move on to old business. This being the first meeting of the year, I don't have anything on my old business. Is there anything from the board? Okay, new business then. First item up is the bid opening for the Lebanon Street Department garage. And Kevin, I believe you have the bids for those.
Run downstairs.
Okay, we're going to have Kevin run downstairs to get those. While he's doing that, what? Yeah, at the city council meeting. Yep. All right, so while Kevin's grabbing those, let's move on then real quick to item B, which is Resolution 2022-01, New Cold Land Exchange. Long story short, just for the board, we kind of talked about this at the city council meeting. I think we may have briefly mentioned it at our last meeting in December last year. We are in need of doing a property swap, essentially, with one of the tenants in our business park. We need to trade land with them just to kind of, for our regional detention program, but then also it also helps them square off some other parcel. So essentially what you have here before you tonight is Resolution 2022-01 for the board, and that essentially authorizes it indicates to the city council that we support this decision, and then it allows the city council then to make the decision to actually transfer that property. So Kevin, I stalled long enough. You made it back in time. So that was just a quick introduction. We'll come back to that now that Kevin has the bids. So we'll go back to item A, the bid opening for the street department garage. I'll turn it over to Kevin.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. I do have the bid packages with me. Just real quick, we're opening bid packages for the Lebanon Highway Garage, or Street Stormwater Garage. Just want to thank Dave for his work in putting into this, as well as our design team represented tonight with Winifred Williams from KRM Architecture. So without any further ado, need to work on that New Year's resolution. I'm winded here. The first bid package is from Fredericks Incorporated. base bid from Fredericks Incorporated is for $4,299,246. That is 4,299,246.00. With an alternate number one of an add of $179,644. That's 179,644.00. And alternate number two, an add of $144,300. That's 144,300.00. Again, that was from Fredericks Incorporated. All bids were received sealed prior to the designated time. We will review these after opening for completeness. Second package is from Able Construction Company. That is ABEL. With a base bid of $4,312,630. That is 4,312,630.00. Alternate bid number one, $177,555. That's 177,555.00. Alternate number two, $148,673. That's 148,673.00. That was Able Construction Company Incorporated. Next package is from 3D Pro, 3D Professional Contracting Incorporated. Base bid is $4,535,000. That is 4,535,000.00. Alternate bid number one, $148,800, 148,800.00. Alternate bid number two, $126,000, 126,000.00. That was 3D Professional Contracting Incorporated. Fourth package is from Brandt Construction Incorporated. With a base bid of $4,314,000, 4,314,000.00. Alternate bid number one, $255,000, 255,000.00. Alternate bid number two, $156,000, 156,000.00. Again, that was Brandt, B-R-A-N-D-T Construction. Fifth package, Boyle Construction Management Incorporated, B-O-Y-L-E. Base bid, $4,884,000, 4884000.00. Alternate one, $157,000. It's 1570000.00. Alternate number two, $134,000. 134,000.00. That was Boyle Construction Management Incorporated. Next one is MCMI Myers Construction Management Incorporated. Base bid is $4,830,000. That is 4830000.00. Alternate bid one, $178,000, 1780000.00. Alternate two, $142,000, 142,000.00. That was Myers Construction Management Incorporated. The last one is from F.H. Passion, S.N. Nielsen and Associates. With a base bid of $4,954,000, 4954000.00. First alternate was $174,000. That is 174,000.00. Second alternate was $197,000, 197,000.00. That was F.H. Passion, S.N. Nielsen and Associates. That is all I have. There were 7 packages that we opened. Based on the readings, the low base bid was Fredericks Incorporated at $4,299,246. But that is just the apparent low bidder. We will review these bid packages for completeness and come back to you at your next meeting with a recommendation. Would like to thank you for listening to all that and thank all the contractors for their interest and being here tonight for the opening.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, that concludes the bid opening then. So now we'll move back to the resolution I was speaking about. Before I have Rob read it, are there any additional questions from the board this time? Okay, Rob, do you mind reading Resolution 2022-01?
Thank you, Mayor Board. Resolution 2022-01 is approving the exchange of real property. This board was created pursuant to Indiana Code and has custody of all the real property of the city. The city is the owner of the real property that's identified at landlocked 11-18-1 West that consists approximately of 8.475 acres as legally described on Exhibit A, and it's described as a city property. New Cold Indianapolis LLC is proposed exchanging 10 acres of its property identified as 904 Edwards Drive, Lebanon, Indiana, legally depicted and described in Exhibit B, and that's described as the New Cold property. The board has determined that the New Cold property is more useful to the city in order to fulfill the city's long-term plans for the city and that the board is willing to exchange the city property for the New Cold property, and that's defined in here as the exchange. Pursuant to Indiana code, the board can exchange property to a non-governmental entity after advertisement, following as nearly as practical the procedures described in the Indiana code. The city has obtained 2 appraisals for the city property and the New Cold property. The city and New Cold agreed that no money shall be paid by either party for the exchange. The board believes that the exchange will be a benefit to the public health and welfare and is in the best interest of the city. Therefore, these recitals are incorporated in this resolution. The exchange of title to the city property by the city for the New Cold property is hereby approved pursuant to Indiana code. The mayor of the city is authorized to execute any and all documents and agreements that are contemplated by this resolution. The mayor of the city is further authorized to take all other lawful actions necessary in connection with the exchange. And this resolution shall be in a full force and effect immediately upon its adoption.
Thank you, Rob. And just to clarify too, so even if the board approves it tonight, it still has to be approved by the city council as well, correct?
That's correct, yeah. And it will be noticed up for a public hearing at the city council.
Okay, great. Are there any questions from the board concerning the resolution? Again, if you look, it's a pretty even swap. We actually gain a little bit more. Again, makes more sense. Kevin, I kind of briefly introduced this for our regional detention. If you have anything to add to that.
I think just, you're right, it's simple. We're exchanging 8.475 acres valued at $300,000 for 10.052 acres valued at $620,000.
Yep. So, good deal for us. Also, good deal for them. They actually want it, so it works out.
It squares up land between us, our regional detention property, and the New Cold property, so
Yep.
that neither of us have to deal with a flag-shaped piece of land.
Any public comment concerning Resolution 2022-01? Okay. At this time, then, I would entertain a motion concerning Resolution 2022-01.
I'll make a motion, we approve Resolution 2022-01, the New Cold land exchange.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second from Bill. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, that is approved. Thank you, council, or board, excuse me. Sorry, not used to you guys doing resolutions. Okay, that concludes that resolution. And Kevin, before you go, you mentioned earlier in your report about the firm selection for the construction inspection on the Big Four Trail. Do you also, you wanted a motion to approve into legal and move forward on that?
Yes, thank you for the last-minute addition here, but our selection committee for the construction inspection on the Big Four Trail project finished our voting earlier today, and really we have a unanimous decision. We ask for your permission to authorize us to enter into contract negotiations with Clark Dietz Incorporated for the construction inspection services associated with that project, and authorize the mayor to execute any contracts once those are approved, subject to legal review.
Any questions for Kevin on that? Again, this is for the construction of the urban section, call it, of the trail from downtown, down East Street, or down Meridian, over to East Street, and then through the park, and then connect over by Stokes Elementary. So this will complete the Big Four Trail through town. So with that, then, I would entertain a motion to approve, or for the city to enter into a contract with Clark Dietz for construction inspection services on the Big Four Trail construction project, pending final legal review, and authorizing the mayor to sign on your behalf.
I'll make a motion, we approve the construction and inspection agreement with Clark Dietz and allow the mayor to go ahead and sign the agreements once everything's approved,
Can I make it pending legal review as well?
pending legal department.
We have a motion and a second from Bill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that is approved. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Sorry, and thank you, board, for the late addition on there. Appreciate the flexibility there. That concludes what I have for new business. Is there anything from council or from the board? Okay, then we'll move on to the claims, and we'll entertain a motion concerning the claims.
I make a motion, we approve the claims.
We have a motion to pay the claims from Bill. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those claims are approved. Are there any announcements or discussion from the board? Any public comment? Okay, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn from Dick. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second from Judge McClure. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Our next Board of Works meeting will be Monday, January 24th at 6:15 PM. There's no RDC tonight, so City Council will be up at 7:15.